Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This course vlog is going to be about the coolest par 3 course in the world. So on my trip to Arizona, I went out to Wickenburg Ranch. I played the Big Wick, which is their 18-hole course, which was super cool and turned out to be my favorite course that I played in Arizona. And when I was having lunch after my round, the bartender was like, "Hey, have you played Little Wick?" And I didn't even know what that was. So she told me to go to the pro shop, sign up, and play Little Wick, and I did, and I'm so glad that I did because it was such a cool experience. What Little Wick is it's a par 3 course that they have kind of away from the clubhouse on top of what they call a mountain and what we in Texas call a butte, which is kind of a big rocky hill. And so they built this par 3 course over there, and it has like a grill and a little bar outdoor area where people can hang out and have some drinks and have a little bit of lunch. And then they have this par 3 course built all around it. And you're hitting up to some of the greens, you're hitting down to some of the greens. There's a lot of elevation changes, and it was super cool. Lots of good views. It was super relaxed. People were out there. Like, there's no dress code, there's no policies. I think the locals can even play this course for free. They just show up and play. And so there were people out there in shorts and flip-flops and tank tops. There were families out there that had like 10 people on one green. I mean, it was just super laid back and relaxed. They have speakers on the tee boxes and the greens, and they play like oldies music from the 70s and the 80s. At least they were on the day that I was there. And it was a super fun round of golf. I'm so glad I played, and it was only 20 bucks. It was just 20 bucks since I had already played the Big Wick. So this is going to be a little bit different type of course vlog because of the music and because it was pretty windy while I was playing. This is kind of what most of the sound, most of the audio from my vlog sounds like. And since I know you don't want to hear that for 9 holes, I'm just going to do just talk about the holes and talk about my club selection and the shots and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy the video. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me if you've ever played this course or if you have a par 3 course in your area. So guys, this is hole number 1. On this course they had 3 sets of tees, and I played the farthest back tees, which were the revolvers. So we have hole number 1. It's 108 yards. Of course, it's a par 3, and a fairly straightforward shot, straightforward green, not really elevation change. I chose to hit a little bit of a choked up pitching wedge into the green.
So, since this was my best shot of the day, I'm not going to putt this little 2.5 footer and just take my birdie.
Hole number 2 is playing 88 yards. We are all the way on the back of this tee box behind this tarp, and it's a pretty straightforward hole. Not really any trouble. You just have to be able to hit it 88 yards. It's a wide green, but not very deep. And guys, on this course I played with this delightful retired couple that were just super nice, and we had a great time playing the course, and it was great to get the local knowledge because they live in Wickenburg Ranch and have played this course several times, even though they've only lived here for a couple of months. So it was just a real pleasure to play with them. So guys, I decided to pitch an 8-iron on this shot into this little narrow green, which is kind of my go-to 90 to 100 yard shot, and had a perfect pin high shot. Let's see if I can make the putt. Hole number 3, playing 148 yards. You pretty much have to carry it about 145 to clear the desert and all this shrubbery and everything they've got going on here. It's actually a fairly deep green and a very wide green, but you can't go very far right or left or you'll be out of bounds or hitting out of this desert type stuff. So I chose to take a 7-iron on this hole. I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of club to get there. And the wind was blowing from left to right on this hole, which is something I didn't take into account. So I ended up being pin high, but missed the green to the right and have to chip back up with a 60-degree wedge. Hole number 4 is probably the coolest hole on the course. It was playing 88 yards to the pin, and it was downhill. Like, I don't know how many yards down it was, but it was down in the valley, playing very far downhill. So far that my rangefinder, even with slope, could not figure out how far it was. It kept giving me like super weird readings, like 41 yards. But Nick and his wife both put it within like 8 feet. So they told me what club to hit or the distance to hit to play it at 70 yards, and so I chose to pitch a little 9-iron and just try to hit it 70 yards. So not too bad of a shot. I'm below I'm on the bottom tier. So I have a lengthy putt back up the hill, and I had not been putting very well at all this day. On the Big Wick, I did not putt well, and on this Little Wick, I started out not putting well also. Hole number 5, playing 130 yards. There's a little bit of trouble short, and you can see there's a bunker right in front of the pin, and then also that little bunker on the left. I did not want to hit out any bunkers on this course, so I decided, since the wind was blowing from right to left, I would just aim at the right center of the green, maybe halfway between the bunker and the right edge of the green, and let the wind blow it back over to the pin. So I'm once again pin high, miss the green to the right, have to putt down to the bottom tier, this 40-footer, and just try to lag it as close as I can. See all the break that I have to take just to get down to the hole. But actually, I was pretty happy with that lag putt. This little putt, not so happy. Hole number 6, the longest hole on the par 3 course. It's playing 187 yards, and as you can see, it's with the wind. So I decided to hit a full 4-iron into this green, and my plan was to take it right up this green little walkway that goes straight to the green and just kind of aim for the center. So the weather on this afternoon was kind of weird. It was sunny when I started, then some clouds rolled in, and then it became full-blown overcast. So from the temperature kind of cooled off a bit, the wind picked up, and it didn't rain or anything, but it was definitely overcast for the remainder of my round. So I ended up hitting a pretty good shot into here, almost pin high. I have a very lengthy putt. I don't know if it was 70 feet, but it was definitely a long putt that I had to lag up here. I try to count my steps on these greens, so I have a pretty good approximation of how long the putts are. but sometimes you get them right, sometimes you don't. And did I say I was not putting well on this day? Definitely not putting well. Hole number 7, 168 yards into the wind. You can see there's water all the way in front of the green and to the right of the green. So if you're going to miss, you want to miss this thing to the left, or you can go long. It's an extremely wide green. It's not very deep, which makes it challenging. So after watching my playing partners hit, I decided to hit a choked up 4-iron and tee it up really high and just try to hit a high shot into the green. I end up missing the green about a yard and a half to the right, and then kind of chili dipped that little chip there, and left me a nice little 6-footer for par, which I made. Hey, I'd made 4 bogeys in a row, and finally made a par on this one. Hole number 8, 122 yards. You have to carry the water, and then you have to carry that big bunker. The pin was just a few paces behind that bunker. And fun fact about this hole, Nick, the guy I was playing with, the very first time they played this course, right after they moved to Wickenburg Ranch, he made a hole-in-one on this hole. And so he actually has his name in the Hall of Aces on the top of the hill, which is super cool. So on this hole, I decided to go with an 8-iron pitch shot and just try to get it right over the top of the bunker and get it close. So my ball actually landed in a decent spot on the green. It just took off and ran off all the way off the back. So I have a pretty lengthy birdie putt here. And I end up lagging it to within about a foot or so. The number 9 hole. What a beautiful hole. Water right, bunker short, bunker right. It was playing 179 yards. And I elected to just hit a 6-iron and to go right after this pin. I was 3 over at this point and was like, you know what, I want to end this round with a birdie, so I'm just going to go straight at it. This Little Wick course was a lot of fun. The 3 of us played it, I think, in like an hour and 10 minutes, so it didn't take long at all. I kind of wanted to play it again, I just didn't have enough time to play it a second time this day, but it was a lot of fun. I would recommend, if you are ever in the Scottsdale area, put Wickenburg Ranch on your list to play, and play the Big Wick and the Little Wick. Well, guys, I ended up shooting 3 over par on the Little Wick. I had the birdie on number 1, 4 bogeys and 4 pars. And if I would have been able to make some of those putts inside 6 feet, I could have easily been even par. I wish I would have hit my irons and wedges as good on the Big Wick as I did on the Little Wick, but I'll let you watch the video and determine how that went. Guys, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite par 3 course is. I tried to remember how many par 3 courses I've played, and I came up with 16. So I've played 16 par 3 courses, and this one just completely blows all those other courses out of the water. I played a par 3 in Arkansas that was up in the mountains one time that was kind of cool, but it was in nowhere near as good a condition as the Little Wick is. If you're ever in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area, It's worth the hour-and-a-half drive to go to Wickenburg Ranch. You won't regret it. The Big Wick was awesome. The Little Wick is just an awesome little hidden gem. The clubhouse, the restaurant, everything was great. You won't regret the drive. Um, Thanks, guys, and remember, sharpen your game. As you can see, it's with the wind, into the wind, with the wind,